Welcome back to the sickest episode of Two Average Husbands that we have ever done because I am under the weather. Kyle, how you doing today, though?
I'm your host, Kyle.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not in the mood to do. I shouldn't say that. I feel a lot better than I did. But literally, like we did that
Yeah, you
episode.
sound fine.
We did that episode last week, and I woke up the next morning and I was like, okay, I'm hungover. My throat kind of hurt, so I was like, I don't know. Maybe I just was burping up in my sleep a little bit because I drank way too much, ate way too much. I don't think I've ever been that full in my life. Yeah. And then we went through that whole day, and I woke up on Friday and I was like, I'm fucking dead. Like I died. I don't have COVID, so that's a plus.
That is a plus. That is always a plus.
My gout started acting up, which is wild because I didn't even drink a lot of beer while I was there. I mostly drank wine.
Jake has the medical conditions of an 85-year-old man.
I have. We've covered this before, but one of them decided to just fuck me up a little bit. So, but we're chilling. We went to the doctor.
Yeah.
Got some meds.
Yeah.
Didn't really get any meds for the sinus infection bronchitis thing I got going, but
I got bronchitis.
That's how I sounded on Friday. I
believe it.
I
Yeah.
could on the day we flew back home, my ears popped on the airplane, and it was arguably the most pain I've ever been in my entire life.
Yeah.
Just so sinusy, already stuffed up, and then they popped, and I still can't hear right.
Sometimes I'm a little bit surprised that airlines don't warn you about that. Hey, if you're gonna fly and you have any sort of actual congestion problem or sinus problem, it's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah,
because they talk about it in scuba diving, right? And
yeah.
Things like that. The pilots are probably super well aware of it, I would imagine, but the passengers on a commercial airline never really receive that sort of data.
It was one of those things where I thought it was going to be a problem, but normally my ears pop on the way up. They don't pop on the way down. Or they slowly decompress on the way down. I notice it at least more going up.
Okay.
And when we were going up, I didn't notice it. But then when we started coming down, I don't know if flight descents are always as sharp as ours felt, but ours felt like a pretty sharp descent on the way back to Chicago. And it was literally the most pain I've ever been in. I couldn't hear for most of that day. I couldn't hear for most of the next day.
That's the worst. I say that, but that's actually not true. Because I think one of the worst things is when you can't taste. That always drives me the most crazy.
I never lost my, even when I had COVID.
If I have sinus congestion, I almost always have, taste problems.
I never really run into that, shockingly.
Smell is so much a part of your taste.
That's true, but even when I have sinus problems, I can still, normally one of my nostrils works. Normally I don't have it, so bad that I can't, Jess is just normal allergies. She can't breathe.
You're ambinostrous.
Basically. But yeah, even today I was talking to people on my phone, and the best way I can describe it is, you ever had a water bottle crinkled in your ear? Mm-hmm. That was literally happening as I was talking. It's probably going to happen to me on this episode, and you're going to see me tapping my head trying to fix it. But
yeah.
But Kyle, as the name implies, neither you or I are drinking in this episode.
So Jake, what are you drinking this week?
I've got some raspberry zinger tea. It's Celestial brand teas. It's a raspberry zinger. It's got some local honey in it.
That's nice. That sounds
delicious.
Pretty good. I almost made tea because you are having tea, and I thought that would be a good episode. But then I decided instead, by the way, I'm not sick. I just have things to do in the morning, and I'm not going to risk drinking tonight and having any sort of a hangover. So I'm just going to stay off the boozies. But I'm having a nice, refreshing glass of Canada Dry.
I have
Zero
some
sugar.
of that right. Where is it? I can't point. There you go.
Oh, that was kind of loud.
That's
and
all
I'm
right.
doing it in a nice, freshly iced glass.
I wanted to make a big cup of tea, so I
ASMR.
didn't have to get up halfway through. So mine's in my nice Tiffany blue Yeti cup, which I always forget just insulates
Tiffany
things.
blue.
And so this tea is still as hot as I poured it 15 minutes ago.
So it's such a hit and miss thing for me because I always take my coffee to work in a coffee thermos or whatever you want to call it, a insulated cup. And I would be super frustrated if I didn't have that and I drove to work and my coffee was cold. But I'm equally as frustrated when I get to work and my coffee is still so hot that I can't fucking put it in my mouth for an hour.
The only time I've legitimately burned my mouth was doing that exact thing. I brought coffee to work, set it on my desk, had 2 meetings right away to start my day. So I wasn't at it for 2 hours. And my brain's just oh, my coffee's been sitting here. It's lukewarm at best. I can just chug it. So I sit at my desk, open up just slide the little lid open, take the biggest gulp of coffee that I've ever taken. And this shit was still steaming hot. I burned the entirety of my mouth and just really fucked my day up.
Yep, it's the worst.
But yeah, I chose this tea specifically because
Carly's
thanks, Carly.
complimenting your audio.
I
That's
have
nice.
been meticulously. I also now realize that I enjoy hearing myself talk on the mic or like in
I
the
do agree that
feedback.
you do sound better today.
Yeah, it's
Like
it's
it sounds
closer.
clearer and mo better.
It's closer. I adjusted the gate. I adjusted the compression. It's louder too, so it doesn't sound. Carly, mind you, I'm on day 6 of being sick, day 7 almost.
Bronchitis.
I've been drinking tea like it's my job. I've been hydrating. I'm on different meds.
Watch out, Carly's gonna hop into the chat here with some like real medical facts and be like, "You're stupid."
That's fine.
She'll come for you.
It's fine.
I know it. I say dumb medical shit all the time.
Same.
She always corrects me.
My mom and brother are both pharmacy techs. I get corrected on drug interaction stuff all the
I'm
time.
sure. Yeah.
Where was I going with that? But yeah, this is the only tea that I have that isn't caffeinated, that also isn't like sleepy time tea, which is supposed to help you fall asleep.
I don't think I've ever had a sleepy time tea that made me sleepy, but I have a tendency to like the non-caffeinated sleepy time teas more than
Yeah.
like a regular tea that's uncaffeinated, because they do things like honey and lavender and shit like that I think have a tendency to taste a little better. Even and
Yeah.
sure, they're gonna tell you it's gonna make you go to sleep. It's not like they're like dumping 10 grams of
Yeah, it's not like
melatonin in there,
yeah.
or milligrams. I mean, grams.
Yeah,
Jesus.
but I've been also if I drink that tea and I also I've been taking NyQuil, and it's like the extra strength NyQuil because it's the only thing that fucking works for me. If I take that and drink the tea, I'm out in like 30 minutes tops.
This is a good topic. We're just gonna keep rolling with this, and I don't
This
even
was
know
gonna
how to
be my
phrase
first
this.
topic.
But I have to go first this week, so I'm
know.
gonna say this. I'm gonna talk about how I am when I'm sick, and you can kind of determine how you want to go off of that. I don't really care, but I am a huge fucking baby when I'm sick, because and the biggest thing is because I'm so infrequently sick that I treat like a runny nose like it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I can't do anything. I can't do anything today. I'm over it. I'm sitting on the couch.
Bro. That was me on Friday. Like I said, I woke up and I was like, or not even Friday. I tried to push through it a little bit. But I could see Kyle bitching a lot when he was sick.
I do.
I could understand
I hate being
that.
sick. I hate it.
Friday, I tried to push through it a little bit. Like we went to the pool, and I didn't get in the pool, but I sat outside for a couple hours. I felt a little better when I did that. Jess and I went out to dinner by ourselves as the last hurrah of the vacation, and then Saturday we had the whole morning. I didn't get out of bed.
Yeah.
Jess was a champ. She basically packed for me. She I was gone. I got to the airport, felt okay, but I also chugged at the hotel store. They had only NyQuil. They didn't have DayQuil. So an hour before our flight, I popped this shooter of NyQuil extra strength, and so that made me feel okay. And so I got through the flight, and then once my ears popped, I got in the car, and then after we came down, not only could I not hear, but my sinuses for the first time really just fucked me, and I couldn't breathe. I'm trying, Jess's mom picked us up. I'm trying to not get her sick, so I'm still wearing my mask in the car. So I can't breathe. I can't do anything. I'm coughing. And she's trying to have a conversation with me. And because my ears aren't working, my brain was literally just I literally think I was sitting
Dude,
like
that's
that.
how I am. I feel like I am absolutely Eeyore when I'm sick. And Carly is right too. I have a tendency to really avoid taking meds. And it's not like I'm anti-medication or anything like that. I don't have any weird conspiracy theories about it. I just don't really like taking meds.
Yeah.
Short of seasonal allergy meds, I have no problem doing it. But I just don't like to take medication if I don't feel like I really need it. And so I'll push up to the edge of really needing it, and then I just won't stop bitching instead. You know?
I am the
Mine
opposite. I'm first sign of anything, I'm popping something.
I would do that with Airborne or some sort of a preventative, like a vitamin.
Yeah.
If I have a sign of something, I'd probably start doing that. But I usually don't jump straight to the remedy medications.
When I am hungover, I take my multivitamin 5 times throughout the day. I'm just trying to hyper attack my body with nutrients. And I think that's part of why I got sick. Yes, I was drinking a lot. Yes, I wasn't eating the best diet in the world, but I didn't bring my vitamins. So I didn't have my normal nutrients that I was getting. I was telling you, I texted you about it, but I used to get sick on every vacation we went to. And I think the reason that that stopped happening is I think it's hotels. I think I get the dust or the dryness from the air conditioning or something in the hotel fucks me. Because
Hotels
like when
are
I
usually like depending on like the quality of hotel too, and that's probably not even a good like way to describe it. But like air filters in hotels are probably not clean nearly
Yeah,
as much as
exactly.
they should be. Like
And I
in your
think-
air conditioner and shit like that.
Yeah, because like when I visited you guys twice, I never got sick. When I've gone in places and stayed in Airbnbs, I've never got sick. If I'm in a hotel for a couple days, I'm normally good. But this was like a week in a hotel. My dad like likes the hotel to be freezing, so it was like 65 in the rooms every night.
Fuck that. And
Which it was fine.
And I know Carly
until
could chime
I-
in the chat and tell me that temperature has nothing to do with illness, which I know is medically true. But I really do feel like sometimes too, if I'm forced to be somewhere where I'm like colder than I prefer, like way colder, I hate that shit. And I always feel like I'm like stuffy and fucked up in the morning.
I don't think it was the temperature. I think it was literally just the AC constantly running because we're in California. It was like
Yeah.
75, 80 degrees
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
Even at night, it was like
There's probably a
warmer
lot of
than
humidity
that.
in
So
that room too, which is not like the greatest atmosphere.
I think it was the opposite. I think it was really dry.
Too dry, yeah.
Because we're right on the coast, and maybe salt water dries out the air. That's my theory. I don't know, but that's what I make it feel like. But literally, like, Carly does make me wash my hands more. I wash my hands a lot when I'm at home. I want to clarify that. But like, Carly made me wash my hands after we got back from the store, which like I don't normally do. But I also use. I say that I don't do that, but I also get in my car and I put hand sanitizer on.
I feel like I had respectable hand hygiene before I met Carly, and now I just have like I don't know, I wouldn't call it like immaculate, but I feel like over the average, you know? Like
Yeah.
I have above average hand hygiene because of her, which is good. And it
I
probably
think I
plays
do
in the fact that I
too.
never get sick at all.
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah,
been sick
I-
in quite a while, and now I say that and I'm going to get sick, but
I was thinking that on the whole vacation, I was like purposely not getting blackout drunk because I was like, I'm gonna get sick if I do. I'm gonna get sick if I do. So I was getting
like
very drunk, but
alcohol
not
never
like.
really has anything to do with it for me.
And that's what I feel like too, because I like.
Because that's like a medical fact.
Yeah, but like
What you might be doing though is like you might be taking more risks with bacteria when you're drunk. Like you're fucked up and you're like touching something and then touching your face.
probably honestly that
You
wouldn't
just,
shock
like,
me.
your like inhibitions are kind of like or
Well, and we're also like my whole family
inhibition.
was staying together, so we were all kind of not like we were like sharing the wine tastings because we were all doing different wine taste getting different wines and then sharing it.
Yeah.
How does this affect my golf game, Jesse? That's a great question. When I am about 2 beers in, 2 drinks in, pretty good, pretty solid, and then I hit a point.
sickness,
Oh,
not
sickness.
beer. I could be wrong.
I have not swung a golf club in too long. We didn't end up golfing at all in the trip like we were supposed to, so that was disappointing. The golf courses just ended up being. We thought they were part of our hotel package, but they weren't. So it
Shady.
would have been like $300 a round to go to
Yeah.
any of the golf courses that we had planned on going
Fuck
to.
that.
So we didn't get to. But alcohol, 2 beers in, I'm good, and then I hit a point, typically around the turn, where we take 2 shots and drink a Bloody Mary or something like a Bloody Mary, like something a little salty. Maybe it's a pickleback shot. Maybe it's a little
Picklebacks.
little tequila, little something like that. Then I get too drunk, and then I'm terrible from like 12 to 15, and then like 16, 17, 18. As I'm sobering back up, I play my best golf. It's inevitable.
Getting back on topic,
Yeah, I was about to.
what are some remedies that you like other than medicine that you like grew up doing for sickness? And we'll just stick to like cold flus because I feel like that's like the most common, right?
I'll say it's a remedy because it's technically not a medicine, but like elderberry,
Never did that.
Acetylcysteine.
Don't even know what that is.
If you saw it, you would know what it is because it's in every store, but it's technically like I don't think there's any actual like scientific evidence that it does anything. But my parents would always give it to us when we had colds.
What is it?
That's a great. I don't exactly know what it is. Acetylcysteine. It is a flu medicine that reduces the duration and severity of flu symptoms, but it's a homeopathic remedy.
Did you ever do the nasal swabs? What was that medicine called? It came in like an orange package, but it was like a thing that it was like a basically like the tip of the nasal swab would like break open and like release some sort of a medicine. And then they
know-
got sued like 15 years later because they were like permanently fucking people's like sense of smell up.
I know what you're talking about. We never use those.
I didn't either. I think my dad might have, but I remember when that like story broke and they were talking about like, hey, it was one of those fucking class action lawsuit commercials where it's like,
Yeah.
were you affected by, was it Zicam? I feel like it was Zicam.
Maybe that's still.
Let me look at the
around.
package.
Anyways,
It was the
acetylcysteine.
Zicam fucking swabs, but I think they've changed their recipe or some shit now.
Yeah.
whatever the fuck, I don't know.
Acetylsalicin, the preparation of it is derived from duck liver and heart, diluted to 200 C, a ratio of 1 part duck offal to 10 to the 400th parts water. And it's entirely a placebo, but we always took it. My mom gave it to us all the time. Drew, Dave, that's called cocaine, Kyle. I have heard that one hit of cocaine can cure a sinus infection. Don't know if there's any truth to that.
So it was in 2010, Zicam got sued because they had more than 800 reports of permanent loss of smell and didn't forward any of the concerns to the FDA. And that was just reported 800, right? So, but yeah, that was back in 2010. So they're still a company and they still produce things, but yeah, anyway, that wasn't a remedy for me. For me, it was literally like, and I think maybe this plays into the fact that I don't take medicine that often because my parents were very much or my mom at least was very much eat some saltines and like have the chicken noodle soup, like that. Yep. That's the remedy, right? Which is like obviously not going to do shit for you other than like the steam might help with like or like the warmth or whatever might help you generally heat. Just like
it's like
feel
drinking
a little
tea,
better.
like that's why I drink tea with honey. It makes my throat feel better. I also feel like
relief. Yeah,
I feel like it helps me cough up.
Attacking the symptom, not the source, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, that's all we did.
Drink some milk.
We used to. So my mom used to have us do that. Drink milk when we would just generally like when we were kids. We didn't know how to describe it. We just say.
I thought he was fucking with me. That's a real thing.
No, yeah, we would drink warm milk. So we would drink. I drank one morning. I was like, "Mom, I'm sick," and she's like, "You sound fine. You look fine. You're not coughing. You're not sneezing. You're not sniffling." But I had an upset stomach, and so my mom tells me to drink a glass of warm milk. So I do. Get on the bus. I walk in my classroom and just immediately yak in the garbage can. Like, did not get my coat off. It was cold. Like, it was snowing. It was winter, so I had like snow pants, snow boots, coat. I didn't get any of that off. I literally just dropped my backpack at my desk and walked to the garbage can, which was unfortunately for her right next to the teacher's desk, and just immediately like, bleh.
So I'm glad to hear Dave said it was a joke because warm milk to me has always sounded disgusting, and I know that's a normal thing for some people. But
if you drink hot chocolate, it's the same thing, just without the chocolate.
That's why it's different, though.
Okay.
There is a distinct difference there, and I don't think that's a debate. I think warm milk and warm chocolate milk are different. Because, yeah, we don't need to go down that.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
That being said, other things...
I've heard of some wild ones, but I've never done them.
I'll tell you the one. This is the placebo effect that is non-medicine related that my parents did, or my mom. My mom, in order to just make you feel better, and I told Carly this one time, and I don't know what the context was. Maybe I was sick, and I said it to her. I can't remember. She could chime in the chat if she remembers the exact context. But either way, my mom, when I was like a kid, if I got sick, she would go to the dollar store and get us a toy. And then bring it back home and like give us a toy so that we'd feel a little better. Or whatever,
that makes sense because it'll like release endorphins.
Mental, right?
You get serotonin.
You're still sick, but you feel a little better, right? Because you have a toy to play with. And so I think I was sick as an adult one time after I met Carly, and I told her that, and she's like, "Are you fucking for real? Do I need to go get you a toy at the dollar store or something?" That's and the first time she did, I think, and she went out and got me a toy as an adult from the dollar store, which is, hey man, made me feel better, right?
My mom used to just literally wet a washcloth and just put it on her head.
Oh yeah, my mom did that always. If you had a fever, cold washcloth.
Didn't matter.
Face.
We could have no fever.
If it was non-fever related, warm washcloth.
Yep. See that's for me. This is a thing I still do to this day. We never did it growing up, but for whatever reason, it works for me when I get sinus problems. I'll literally just like either if I don't have a lot of time, I'll just turn on the shower and leave the door open because then our bathroom gets really steamy, and I just like sit there and just breathe in the steam. Or if I have time, I'll literally take a towel, put it over my head, over the sink, turn the hot water on the sink until it steams, and just breathe instead of like using like my humidifier, because I used to have a humidifier, but it makes Jess's allergies worse. So I got rid of it as a sacrifice.
Humidifiers are nice.
Yeah. We also now have an air purifier in our house to try and help Jess's allergies. We're trying to make it work.
Speaking of air purifier, something that made me feel sick, even though I wasn't actually sick, I went and saw Dane this weekend, which is probably a story we can just cover in a different time. I don't really care, maybe when he's here. But I made a spontaneous trip up to see Dane for the first time in quite a while, and so we hung out just for a night, and then I drove back because he only lives barely away from me. Drove up there, and we went to the casino because I got a hotel room at the casino because it was the cheapest one I could get, and it was a nice enough room, like everything. I just wanted the cheapest fucking thing because I didn't really care. Well, it turns out I was staying in the middle of like Casino Alley down in downtown Reno. And so
Nothing wrong with
Dane
that.
and Bailey just came out and hung out with me there. And we were in that casino for, I don't know, a couple hours, whatever it was, like in the actual like casino floor area. Cause they had like bars that we ended up going to, but we were on like the casino floor and it was 100% fucking chain smokers.
Yep.
It's been a long fucking time since I've been to a casino. I can't remember the last time I went to a casino. And usually a lot of casinos will divide it. They'll have like a non-smoking area and a smoking area. This one was smoking fucking everywhere. So I just
No,
couldn't
yeah,
get away from it.
in Reno, I don't think I ever saw a non-smoking area of any of the casinos we went to.
I've never been to Vegas. I don't know how Vegas is. I'm assuming they're probably the same, where everybody can just
Probably.
smoke all
I think
over
it's
the
just.
fucking
I think
place.
it's just Nevada. I think like
yeah,
because I think they have a rule there where like because the casinos have air purifiers and they pump in fresh air. That's part of
Yeah.
like it's a way to like
they're
keep
doing a
people
great
awake
fucking
and
job,
keep
let me
people
tell you,
there.
because I felt like absolute fucking shit.
Oh yeah.
But when I woke up in the morning, I felt like I had been chain smoking all night.
Oh, that's the
And I
worst.
was kind of like coughing a little bit when I got home. And Carly's like, "Are you sick?" And I was like, "No, I was just inhaling cigarette smoke for hours."
Yeah, that's tough.
So yeah, that fucking sucked too. But clears up. Not actually sick, no COVID or anything like that, which is actually kind of surprising too, because casinos are fucking disgusting.
Yeah, I'm happy we came back without COVID. I mean, we did like for the most part like take our precautions, but like
Yeah.
when we go on the wine tour, like you're sitting drunk on this bus that's taking you
Yeah.
around to 4 different wineries. Like you're not wearing your mask there. You're not wearing your mask when you're doing the wine tasting because you're not taking it off every fucking 3 seconds to take a sip of
Yeah.
your wine.
Yeah.
So, but like for the most part, we did it, and I think my brother was sick when we got there. Like he was sick on the way there. He was getting over a cold. Also didn't have COVID, and I think that could have, contributed to it a little bit. Contributed to it. Don't you criticize my education? But yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling mostly better. It's gonna be just like now. It's just when I get sick, it lingers for like 3 weeks, where it's just like I'll be good for 2 days, and then I'll wake up and I'm like, oh fuck, it's back.
Do you have any
So-
weird ones? We got to close this topic out. Do you have any weird remedies that you've ever done, or like that somebody has told you to do, like anything that's just kind of out in the middle of nowhere?
Socks in potatoes in the socks.
Yep. Okay, I've heard that one.
I've heard
before.
that
I've
one.
heard
I-
onions in the sock too.
I've heard that. Or onions over the eyes.
Oh, I haven't heard that. Just the feet. Apparently, like if you talk to people that are like into like the different pressure points and all that shit about the body
Yeah,
and like
there's
all
a
those
lot-
weird things and
yeah.
like they claim that like your feet like have a tendency to like be like a good like gateway out for like bad shit in your body or whatever, and you can just
Right.
fucking pump it all into the potato, which is funny because they're like, look at the potato in the morning, it's fucking black, and you're like, yeah, probably it's fucking rotting in my sock overnight. So
I've been sweating on it for fucking 20 minutes. This is I think the weirdest thing I do, and this is where I'll end it. If I'm sick, I already use 2 comforters, but I'll use 3 comforters. I'll sleep with socks on. I'm wearing sweatpants, a sweater, and a long sleeve shirt. I'm trying to sweat
just
it
to
out.
sweat it out, yeah.
I'm trying to sweat out the illness, which in my mind works. Scientifically, I'm just dehydrating myself. It probably actually doesn't help at all.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
But I feel like it does, so I do it.
Okay. The weirdest one, and maybe this is more normal than I think, but I feel like I never really heard of it that much. But my mom would take Vicks and just put it fucking everywhere. Like my
Yeah.
mom would throw Vicks on the chest, on
Yep.
the fucking
It's
lip, on
in-
the everywhere.
The fucking NyQuil and DayQuil that I have.
Yeah, my fucking mom put Vicks on all over the fucking place, and then she'd like throw a towel around our neck so that like we wouldn't like rub it off in the night. So you just sleep with like a Vixy fucking towel on. That was super normal for us growing up.
Yep, it wasn't normal for us, but if we were bad, like my mom would do it.
If you were
Not
bad,
not as like punishment. Like if
Oh,
we were
I was like,
really
what the fuck?
like if we were really sick, that's when she would do that. But that's really it. We didn't do too many weird things.
Okay, sweet. Cheers. What's your tea rated?
Fucking 10 out of 10. This is hitting the spot right now.
Ginger ale's delicious too. I love
Yeah.
ginger ale. And Carly told me that she thinks the zero sugar one doesn't taste anything like the real one.
I think
I
it
don't
tastes
think I agree. I think they taste pretty dang near the same.
I think the zero sugar one tastes better.
I don't think it's better. I really don't. But I do think it's good.
I think part of that though is just I drink zero sugar everything at this point. So I think I'm just more used to the flavor. But like when I
Yeah.
go to my parents and drink like a whiskey ginger.
I'm not like a soda drinker, so I can't really compare that. But
Yeah.
all right. Anyway, fun stuff. What's your topic? Let's hear about it.
My topic was going to be about being sick and when you know, like when to you, like what do you have to, like we're just going to stick on the topic here because I'm thinking about it now.
This isn't your topic.
No, it's different from your topic.
It's the same topic.
When do you consider yourself to be sick?
This isn't the topic.
Okay, fuck you. Fine.
Because I
I'll
feel like
do-
we're going to one sentence this one, and we already talked about being sick enough.
Okay.
When do I consider myself being sick? The second I feel like shit.
Okay. I like don't consider myself sick until like I have to have like 3 different things that are wrong. I have to be like sinusy, have a sore throat, and a cough. Then I'm sick. If I just have a cough, I'm not sick. If I just have sinus problems, it's probably just my allergies. If my ears hurt, I
Yeah.
don't consider myself sick until I'm like
There's some
multiple
validity
things are
to
going
that.
wrong.
I feel that. Like if I just have allergies, I wouldn't consider that sick. I just
Yeah.
don't feel great. So I guess it would be something accompanied with that, probably like a sore throat or something like that. Yeah, some other symptom other than just like sniffles.
Okay, cool, nice one sentencer.
Thank you. What was your second topic going to be? You haven't thought about it yet?
No, I normally come up with the second one about halfway through your second one, or unless I'm going first. Okay, so when we went on vacation, we did a lot of drinking, and we didn't do a lot of going out of our way to do extra things.
Okay.
What are some things that you feel like that people should do? They're on a week-long vacation. What are some of the things that they should do in their free time? Should they see
we
the
just talk about
touristy
this last
spots? Did we?
Yes.
I was so drunk during last week's podcast.
Yeah. This is
You
a
could
whole
tell.
topic.
Okay, never mind.
I'm going to do my second topic, and then you can think of some stuff.
No.
that we can talk about.
Give me
We
5.
literally just talked about that. Like that was a whole ass topic last week.
Kyle, I was so.
And we talked
When
about
we-
whether you should do touristy, trappy things or not, or what you should do on
Okay.
vacation. Yeah,
That's
we
why
did
that sounded familiar. I was so drunk.
Freaking Jake.
I remember now that we say that, I remember it.
I told Jake I was really grumpy at work today, which is true. And so I'm on like this like call you out fucking chain of events of today where Jake's just like, yeah, I'm gonna talk about this. I'm, no, you're fucking not.
God. Okay. No. Okay. This was actually a topic. I completely forgot I wanted to talk about this, but we're going to talk
do
about
it.
it now. What is your opinion on people storming the field at football games, or a player is walking off the field and somebody walks right in front of him and he pushes him?
Yeah.
Like, do you
yeah.
feel that those players should be held liable for what they do, or do you think that's for? We'll look at it in the 2 separate scenarios. So for somebody who streaks the field, I think
Mm-hmm.
that person. I think the second you hop the fence, you lose any defense you have in terms of assault, battery. Like, you have officially made the mistake.
I think those words are a little intense, but I know what your intent behind it is.
Yeah,
Right.
like, you-
I don't think
obviously-
you should go beat the piss out of this fucking
No,
guy on the
yeah,
field,
but,
right?
like-
but somebody's gonna tackle you and drag you off the field, and you are opening yourself up to that risk.
Yeah,
I agree.
whether that's a security guard or a
Or a football
player,
player or
somebody's
whatever,
going to
yeah.
do it.
Yep,
So for
agreed.
those who aren't
Yeah.
aware, this happened
a couple
last.
weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I think 2 weeks ago at the Rams game, a protester stormed the field and had a pink like smoke bomb thing, and a player came off the sideline and just knocked the dude out. Like he ended up getting a concussion, and he was talking about or is pressing charges, or at least has filed a police report.
He filed the police report, and I think that was the end of it for now.
But like, in my opinion, like, you forfeit the right to do anything like that once you jump that fence. You are
I'm
putting
curious-
yourself in a situation have been told you are not allowed to be in.
I would be willing to, bet that most stadiums, professional football or whatever stadiums, have some sort of a regulation in them that, like, when you purchase the ticket, you're willing to abide by their rules, right?
Yeah.
And in those rules, you are saying, I will remain in the, fan section, whatever.
In the
Like,
seat that you're supposed
I'm
to
sure
be.
it says something like that in, like, the fine print of buying a ticket to a sporting event. And so when you remove yourself from your allotted location, you are opening yourself up for the stadium in whatever respect to take care of that situation. And I'm sure that the stadium probably isn't super thrilled that it was a player that did it either.
Oh,
But
yeah.
At the same time, they're probably like,
They tell
the
players
situation was
not
dealt with.
like
So-
teams tell players not to engage. But
So-
like, I get it though. If a guy is running at your sideline, he's got something in his hand that's smoking. Like, my instincts are probably going to kick in too, and I'm also going to lay the fucking guy out.
the bottom line is, like, do I think the NFL should punish that guy? No. Do I think the team should probably have a conversation about it? Yeah, probably.
Yes, I agree. I agree
Yeah.
that the team should, but like, I don't think that guy, if he wanted to sue, like, I don't think that lawsuit should go anywhere.
Agreed, but the problem is now, like, you're looking at the stadium now has to try to take accountability for the players' actions, and there's going to be a divide there legally where, like, that player probably wants to sue the stadium for his own safety or whatever, however you want to go about that. Maybe they sue the player individually, I don't know, but like, if they try to go after the stadium is kind of fucked, and the player has put the stadium in a bad position where like the owner of that stadium now has to try to figure out how to deal with that.
Yeah, but it's just if it wasn't going to be them, it was going to be a cop, it was going to be a security guard, it was going to be like
Yeah, but
no
there's
matter what.
procedures for that, right? Like there's a procedural.
But those people would also tackle him or tase him or
Yeah, fair, but they are like, there's intent there. Like their job is to deal with that, right? The player is not trained to deal with that type of, all I'm saying is there's probably a lot of legalese that goes into this.
I'm sure there is.
And it's way easier to deal with as a stadium owner, I'm sure, if it's your own dedicated personnel that do it and not a player. That's all I'm saying.
But okay, let's take it one step farther then. Is a player under the same liability if somebody were to storm the field middle of the play?
Oof.
Like I think
Well,
even if you do like go out of your way to do it, I think like in the middle of the play you lose all.
yeah, I mostly agree with you there. I think the thing is like a ref's gonna blow the play dead immediately, right?
Yeah.
As soon as that happens, right? So as soon as the play stops, like I think it's the same as what we were talking about before. But in the middle of it, if a player's on the field and you are like running a route and the dude steps out in front of you, yeah, dude,
Yeah.
like you have no fucking.
You're gonna
room.
get bodied.
Yeah, you're fucked. Okay, yeah, that's different. But yeah, if you want to flip this to the other side of the coin, I know you're gonna get there. So
Yeah. So on Monday night,
Yep.
Devontae Adams was leaving the field after a very frustrating loss. I'm sure.
Yep.
Probably shouldn't have gone for 2. Probably shouldn't be throwing deep balls in 4th and 1 every time.
Yep.
Just saying. But as he was walking off the field, a camera operator or mic operator, somebody who was part of the
Media
media
Yeah.
staff, walked in front of him and he pushed him.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude fell. The dude went to the hospital. The dude has he's filed charges against Devontae Adams.
Yep.
But it depends on for him, it depends on what angle you see.
Yes.
If you see the sky angle, it literally looks like Devontae Adams just full on like just shoves the guy out of the way. But if there's another angle like behind him as he's walking off the field, and you can tell that the dude literally the dude looks at Devontae and just keeps trying to walk in front of him. And then Devontae, like you can tell that it just like catches him off guard. And he just like braces himself with his arms.
That's not true. You're giving way too much credit to Devontae Adams.
Not
so.
he's not like
He pushes the
he
fucking
shoved
guy.
him. But if
Yeah.
if I'm walking off the field, if you're wearing a helmet, first off, you can only see really here.
You're trying too hard, I think,
I don't think so.
to justify it.
But the guy, if somebody walks that close to you, like
That guy was being an asshole.
yeah, 100%.
To try to like get the shot of Devontae Adams as he's pissed off walking off the field. That dude's being a dick. But is he doing his job? Yes, he is. Does Devontae Adams have any right to just shove that fucking dude? No, he does not.
I don't know.
He does not. Like he does not. That is a fact, right? Which is why you're seeing this, right? Because now he is being charged in a criminal case.
It's a misdemeanor. He's
It
being
is
charged with a misdemeanor.
but he is being charged because that is legally defined as a crime, right? Like he is doing something that is not. You can't physically just push somebody out of your way, no matter how irritating they're going to be, right? That's why you get a fucking staffer or somebody to get that guy the fuck out of your way. And I haven't seen the viewpoint from behind Devontae, but I have heard about it, and I actually listened to a podcast that was talking about this very thing on my way home from work today. And the thing is like whether the guy is going too far with his job or not, Devontae doesn't have the ability to assault this guy, right? That being said, the dude shouldn't be a fucking asshole in order to get a better shot.
The NFL,
It's like a paparazzi, dude.
I saw somebody who was breaking down the actual NFL policy on it, and the NFL is supposed to keep those empty. There's not he was not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
He purposely, like we said, was trying to cut
Yeah, he was
across
being
to
an
get a
asshole.
shot
Yeah.
or to get a sound bite, whatever he was. Like he wasn't supposed to be there. So again, I think it falls into enough of a gray area where if you want him to pay your medical bills, cool. I think he should pay his medical bills for having to go to the hospital, whatever he had to do there. I fully support that Devontae Adams should be willing to cover it, should offer to cover it. But I think it should stop there. I don't think a player should get a criminal charge for something that one wasn't supposed to happen in the first place if the NFL was properly following their procedures.
Yeah.
And two, like if somebody walks in front of me, that like I can't see them and then I see them and they're just instantly in front of me, I'm probably gonna push them. Like it's
dude, and like I think we could come up with some good analogies here, though, like to the everyday life, and like one of them might just be like you're in a grocery store and like good order and discipline is you should stay in line, but somebody like bumps you out of line or bumps you in line. Like, do you have the right to put your hands on them? No, you don't. Of course you don't, right? Like, and it's not about you're factually you are incorrect when it comes to like a criminal standpoint. Like every right. As soon as Devontae Adams put his hands on that dude, that guy has every right to press charges. That is a fact. Like,
he has the right to, but I don't think I personally, if that were me, I would not press charges. I understand,
neither.
like, you see the bag right in front of you. Like,
dude, this
you're
guy's going to get
paid.
harassed for the rest of his life on Twitter.
Yeah,
like if this dude has a Twitter, people are going to call him
He
a pussy.
already is.
Or like
because
a big,
once the police
fat fucking
report
baby
came
for
out,
the rest of his life.
like,
right?
I've
it's
literally
gonna
seen
happen.
people tweeting like, insert guy's name here is a giant pussy. Insert guy's name here.
It's coming. Yeah, for sure. Like that is never going to stop for him because, you know, I would think the average person would be like, hey, I did too much. I stepped in front of this guy. Probably shouldn't have. Might not have been the right decision. Should he have put his hands on me? Absolutely not. But probably like the most rational people, especially people that work around the sport and understand the frustration, wouldn't press charges. But he has every right to. Excuse me. So, yeah. Do I think it's dumb? Absolutely. But the big thing too is like when I was listening to my podcast on the way home from work today is like, what does this translate to from an NFL punishment standpoint? Like, does the NFL now also punish Devontae Adams because he has now been charged with a crime? And so like you have the NFL conduct policies that go into this, and it's like, do they need to go? We have now a superstar athlete who's a representative of the community at large, the NFL, who like people look up to this dude. Or should we do something about this punitively as the NFL? To say we won't tolerate this behavior, and which is why I think a lot of people think he might get a game suspension out of this too.
I think he should get fined. I don't think he should get a suspension.
Yeah, and we'll see how it plays out. We still don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
So
remains to be seen. It's unprecedented. We really haven't seen anything like this. Like we see players take out photographers, the microphone people all the time on the sidelines just through the course of gameplay.
Yeah.
But like this is a person who went out of seemingly went out of their way to assault somebody or didn't, depending on your allegedly, we'll say, allegedly assaulted somebody, or maybe that person allegedly was trying to get themselves assaulted. We don't know. We'll never know the true details of everything that happened. We weren't the people involved. But I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like it really came out of nowhere, and then like it happened twice. Like two different things happened involving players and game situations having something like that occur. So I don't know. It was just interesting to kind of think about. But like, if we really think about it, like, it's misdemeanor.
Yeah, not a good look. That's
not
for
a great
sure.
look. Definitely not a great look.
But yeah,
he will never live that down.
He really will. And to his credit, like he knew he fucked up. The second he did it, he knew he fucked up, right? Because he's in the locker room and in the interview, he's already apologizing. Then he comes out on Twitter and apologizes.
I saw something too that said he apologized. Like he pushed the guy down, saw that he was on the ground, and was like, "Oh shit, my bad," and then like.
That's not exactly a great apology, but
I mean, it's not. But I've given that exact apology
because you can see,
before.
like, if you watch the video real time, it's not like he stops to like help the dude up or anything. He
does not.
Pushes that dude the fuck out of the way, and then he is gone. Like,
I think
so
if he helps the dude up,
I
think if he helped the dude up right there, I think he doesn't get charges pressed.
Maybe, yeah.
Like, because then it
Would've,
just
coulda,
looks
shoulda.
like he was like, "Oh shit, sorry, you scared me, my bad." But yeah, I don't know. Devontae Adams should pay his medical bills. Should maybe give him a little something.
Yeah.
I'll be like, here you go. Well, I mean, what's $50,000 to a motherfucker like him? Can you please remind me? But I don't know. It's an interesting situation, and we just saw it happen twice. So
yeah, and yeah, I mean, you see the streaker kind of shit all the time, but this one was definitely different.
The streaker, like the streaker situation normally doesn't involve a player being the one to take him out.
This is something I haven't thought about in a while, but I saw a video about it recently because what was it, week 2 or 3 when the Eagles played Washington? And did anything ever happen with the stadium when like they almost fucking took Jalen Hurts out?
Oh yeah. They I think the NFL fined them.
Fined the owner of the Washington.
Yeah, fined
Commanders
this.
now?
Yeah, I think they got fined for. What happened?
I'm just kind of curious how the stadium handled that situation.
Fell versus
Because it sure wasn't the fucking fans' fault that the railing was just like dog shit.
Well, Eagles fans sued them.
Sued the stadium?
Yes. 4 plaintiffs filed seeking $75,000 each in personal damage. I know Washington has replaced it with a much more sturdy railing. They like went out of their way when the Eagles played there this year to like get Jalen there and be like, "Hey,
Is this okay for you?
yeah, literally." They were like, "Hey, just so you know, we fixed this."
That's funny.
But yeah, I thought the NFL fined them too, but I can't see anything on that. But they were at least
I was
sued by
curious.
some of the people who fell.
You talk about something that's unprecedented, and if you don't know what we're talking about, like last year, Eagles were playing the Washington Commanders at Washington, and a bunch of fans were like leaning on the railing trying to like talk to Jalen Hurts as he's walking by. Railing collapses, and they all almost fall on top of Jalen Hurts. So it was kind of a wild incident, but thankfully nobody was extremely hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, next topic. You ready?
What do you got?
I was a grumpy, bitchy boy today.
Been there, done that.
I was just having one of those days where things were, for whatever reason, it just started off irritating me. Like something happened right at the beginning of the day that irritated me, and then anything that irritated me after that, it's one of those ones where like everything was a major irritation. Yeah. So by the end of the day, I was in like a grumpy, fucking annoyed mood at work. But anyway, I want to talk about if you're in a bad mood, how do you react to that? And so I think we can look at this in two ways. And first, you can say like in the moment, something is happening when you're being grumpy. How do you react to that? And then after the fact, like when you think about it, maybe like an hour or two later. And so the way that I want to frame it is not only what your reactions are, but do you prefer to deal with it like on your own, get the fuck away from me, or vent to somebody and like deal with it with somebody else? Let's start with just happened.
It just happened. When it just happens, so I'll use the example. I think we talked about this on the podcast last week, where I almost got into a fight at the rental car place.
Maybe. I don't remember.
Guy cut in line, started insulting my mom. He was wrong. We told him he was wrong.
We talked about this.
Okay. We get to the line. We have Avis Preferred. So we are going to the Avis Preferred line. Fucking 50 feet behind us is the Avis regular line. He went to the regular line, was talking to the people there. They said, he said he was a preferred guy. They're like, oh, preferred's up there. And so he thought, okay, I'm just going to go all the way up there. This is the front of this line is the preferred line. So he tried to cut the 30 people that were in our line that we'd already been waiting in.
Yeah.
And then we were like, hey, bro, sup?
Back there.
Yeah, line's back there. And he's like, no, I just talked to them. They're up here. He said they're up here. And then like all 8 of us around are like, no, you're wrong. So get out of line. And then he was like, my mom was like raising her voice because the dude was just being a dick.
Yeah.
And he was like, can you talk normal, bitch? And I was like,
oh,
sup?
brother.
Yeah. And so I'm like, what was that? And then he was like, I'll just go ask. And then so he goes up to the counter, asks, and I can hear the guy being like, no, you have to get to the back of the line. Everybody in this line is a preferred member. You're not special.
Yeah.
And then my dad was like, I was hoping he was going to prefer or pull out the next, because Avis has like a level above that. He was like, I was hoping he was going to pull that card because that's what member I actually am. And then so the guy started walking back, and I was like, damn, so when 14 people tell you you're wrong, you're actually wrong, huh? He was like, what was that? I was like, get to the back of the fucking line, dude. And he's like, you better watch out. You never know who could kick your ass. I'm like, little do you know, I've got 7 people with me. My dad's going to beat your ass with his cane.
Dude.
And then he's like, I could kick your ass. And I was like, I'd like to see you try, Blondie. And he walked his happy ass back to the end of the line. And just,
I am like not a fighter. And so I think when it gets to the point of like shouting words of like actual physical violence, it makes me like the most awkward, like crawl back into my own skin kind of person ever. I fucking hate that shit.
I'm not a fighter, but I will if I have to. But I also, I just don't back down. Like, so there's been
I'll argue all day long. I don't physically like fight people. I would lose probably every fight I'd ever get into.
I've been in fights before. It's been a while, kind of missing it. Almost was wishing this won't happen a little bit. But like the number of times people have been like, I'll kick your fucking ass. Watch out. I'll beat the fuck out of you. I'm like, I'd like to see you try. Or my favorite one is like, which side you want, left or right? I'll give you my bad one. Here, take this one. And nothing ever happens. Like everybody, when you show somebody that you're not afraid to fight, they are suddenly afraid to fight.
The tough guy mantra is so fucking cringy, though.
It is.
It's so fucking cringy.
Yeah, like, why are you telling me you're going to kick my ass? Just kick my ass if you're going to kick my ass.
So for you, though, in the moment, it's like...
In the moment, I get confrontational.
Yeah.
I'll deal with whatever is pissing me off. Like, I don't shy away from it. And then right away, I like to talk it through. So whether that's with the people that I'm with, whether that's with people who saw the situation go down, immediately I want to just, like, I want to talk about it. I want to make sure, like... If it's a situation, too, where I'm not sure if I was the one in the wrong and I reacted wrong, I'd sometimes like to either have somebody tell me that I fucked up, or I'd like to know that I was right in my response.
Yeah. In the moment for me, I have a tendency, I feel like, to really dig in, like, at the moment. Like I said, I can argue all day long. So, like, if something's happening, like, somebody, like, is trying to, like, rile me up and, like, fucking get me all spun up, I will fucking... attack, right? Like I become very confrontational about it, which is not true to me in my younger life. That's definitely changed a lot. but I have a tendency to really get confrontational about it. And then like when I walk away and like and that's like in the moment, but like immediately following it, I just want to I don't want anybody to talk to me.
That's how I am like later. And it also depends on what the situation is. Like
Yeah.
if it's that situation where I'm in public and somebody's like threatening to fight me, like I'm getting gassed up by all the people who are standing right there because I know like either they're gonna help me out or they're cheering for me because they were also
Yeah.
pissed at this guy. Like that situation's a lot different than like if I'm having like a one-on-one argument with somebody, like if I'm at work and my boss is like ringing me a new one and then I realize that I'm not the one who fucked up, like I want to be like, hold on, no. But like after that situation, I don't want anybody to talk to me. I'm
Yeah.
the same way. Like if it's a one-on-one conversation, there's nobody else around that pisses me off. I just want to sit there, sulk in my sorrows, and I just want to. I'm throwing music on. I'm working out. Like I'm doing something to expel my
Yeah.
anger out of me.
Dude, the worst thing today was like I was going back and forth with this person just arguing about some stupid shit. And then after that was over, like I still had to be in that room with that person for the rest of the day, but because of the way that I am, I didn't want to fucking talk to anybody. So I'm just like sitting there like staring at the fucking wall for like an hour after that. It was just kind of awkward at that point because I'm like, God damn it, I don't even want to talk to this person. They've irritated the shit out of me, but I can't like leave.
Yeah, you can't go anywhere.
So that was kind of shitty. But yeah, that's kind of how I am in the moment. That being said, and Carly nicely reminded me because I told her I was going to do this topic tonight, that I have a tendency too, if I don't vent that out and find some way to de-escalate me like mentally, which sometimes can be a challenge when I'm really spun up, then I have a tendency to just like, because I don't want anybody to fucking talk to me, like in situations like I'll come home from work and Carly has no idea that I'm in a bad mood and I just get like really fucking snappy
Yeah.
about stupid shit too. Like I have a tendency to do that. So that's not so good. You gotta
That's-
figure out how to like decompress and de-escalate. But
Admittedly, though, work used to be really the only time I'd ever get pissed off at anything.
yeah.
And so that's the one time I liked not working at home was that
Yeah.
I could use that drive home to like
Yeah.
just blast music, fucking scream along to it if I wanted to, just like get
Yeah,
some of
I
that
feel you,
frustration
for
out so
sure.
I can get home and then like I used to have this rule where like I could if Jess called me on the car ride home, I'll talk about work. The
Yeah.
second I'm home, I'm not talking about it.
Yeah.
Which obviously is hard now that we work at home. Like
Yeah, that's
it's
tough.
just a different situation. But like, so I give myself a period to be upset about things too. Like if I feel like it's something that's worth holding on to for like, I could be upset for this for a couple days and that's normal. But if it's like, say you and I just like started bickering one day about something, like we do it when we play video games. Like we get frustrated with each other. Like we have different
yeah.
play styles
All
if we're
the
not
time.
talking
Yeah.
enough. Like
Yep.
we just
All
we
the time.
yell at each other back and forth. But it's literally like it's that. Like
Next
it's not
game,
something
we're
that's
good to go.
yeah, it's not something worth getting like super like angry or frustrated over. But I think for me, like the longest I really hold on to anger at this point in my life is like let me go to sleep. And then once I wake up the next morning, I'm fine. Like it's very rare that I hold on to some
Yeah.
sort of anger for longer than that, unless somebody like really fucks me up.
I don't like having a longer commute to work, but I will say that when I have like a shitty day at work and I have that longer commute, I do think it's probably better for me. Because
Yeah.
Carly and I always talk on the way home from work. Like we just have a tendency to like make that phone call and we'll chit chat
Yeah.
about our days or whatever in on the drive. And so I'll do that, and then usually that doesn't take the whole drive home. So I'll like hop on a podcast or something and just listen to something and decompress a little bit as well, or music
Right.
or whatever. So I think that drive definitely helps me to like clear mental block between grumpy me at work and then I'm going home.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about after the fact? So now we're like you had like a shitty day and now it's 6 hours later.
6 hours. I say like I'm normally
Just
good
fully
at that
decompressed,
point.
yeah.
Yeah. Like I think I just do enough stuff to distract myself. Like coming home and having pets. That's one thing
Yeah.
that's nice about having dogs is like
Yep.
my attention goes to them. I'm walking them. I'm feeding them.
Yeah.
I'm playing with them. That helps. But also like for me, even when I didn't have that, like I would work out. I would play video games. I would listen to music. Like everything I do almost immediately after like a bad day at work, like in the car, I do the same thing at home. I'll
Yeah.
throw on music really loud. I'll work out. Now that I have a guitar again, like I'll just play guitar for a little bit. Like when I had drums, that was great because you get to play music and beat shit.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know.
I think at some point in there's that transition for me where it goes from I want to be alone to I want to vent about this.
yeah, that definitely does happen.
And I used work as the example as the biggest one, but I have that time on my way home from work, so that's usually where that happens. So it is usually pretty quick after the incident that I'm like vent the shit out and then I can mostly get over it. I do have a tendency to linger a little bit when I'm grumpy, but And Carly would probably say a lot of it, to be honest, which is probably the truth. But anyway, if it's something that happens like at home or like amongst friends or whatever like that, I can get it, I think, past that quicker than like a work thing that really fucking drives me crazy. But yeah, usually, like I said, there's some transition where I go from I want to be alone, don't fucking talk to me, to let's vent this out and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's hard for me to hold grudges. Like I've forgiven most everybody who's ever pissed me off at this point in my life. Like it's not worth it. It's toxic. So I do like to get it out. Whether that's
If I haven't
venting.
actively done that, I probably would.
Yeah.
There's just people that I probably haven't talked to since like the last time like we fucking fought about some stupid shit like that. I just like we never talked again.
Like
But,
I have some friends from high school who just like I'll call them friends because I don't hold the grudge, but like there was just randomly points in our friendship where they just like they started to fucking hate me for whatever reason, and I don't know. For a lot of them I still don't know what it is, but like if I saw them now, like there's no point in me still being upset about that. Like clearly it hurt my feelings back then, like I cared then, but now I'm just like whatever. So if I see
this is
them,
a tangent because you brought it up. So, and I don't need to make this a topic right now, but did you ever have those people that like actively hated you, and then you grow up, you see them 10 years down the road or whatever, 5-10 years down the road, and they're like, "Yo, what's up, man?" And you're just like,
every fucking person I went to high
fuck?
school with, everyone I
Yeah.
went to high school with, like nobody talked to me. I was the weird kid. I listened to heavy music. People didn't like that, and then like all those same fucking people that made fun of me are like going to When We Were Young. Like they listen to the same music, they just would never admit it.
Yeah.
So they would make fun of me because they felt weird. Like that was every fucking person I went to high school with.
"Yeah,
Sorry,
dude,
if you're listening, I'm calling you out. It's you.
I had some middle school friends, and then I went to like a totally different, disconnected high school, and I didn't see those people forever, but they were kind of like, I had a really small group, and then almost everybody else in that middle school that I went to, I only went there for a year. Like they were just dickish to me all the time, like because I wasn't like in that school the whole time that they were there. Like they kind of treated me as an outsider or whatever. And I saw those people years down the road, and they were just like, "Yo, what's up, dude, man? How you been?" And I was just like, honestly, go fuck yourself. Like, fuck you, dude.
Respect
like we
it.
aren't friends, kind of thing. And they were just like, and I didn't say that directly, but I was just like, "Yo, you were not like chill with me." I said something like that, and they were just like, "What?" And I'm like,
Yeah, they try and play it off.
We can pretend that it didn't happen. Uncle Kyle, the one thing that Carly claims is I don't claim it. She's probably right. I'm probably wrong, but driving, like when I like get really bad road rage, that has a tendency to really fuck me up for a long time.
Yeah.
Like decompressing from some like really bad road rage takes an unusually large amount of time for me. I know that's irrational, but usually work doesn't do the whole day for me. All right, Jake, I didn't leave you very much time. We can transition to your topic. What is your final topic for today?
So for my final topic today, we're gonna do a little draft.
Ooh.
It's very, very easy one.
Okay. 7 minutes or less.
Yeah, easily.
Perfect.
It's a 5-round draft. I
Five.
definitely stole this off of
Get in there.
TikTok. I stole this exact draft off of TikTok.
TikTok fucking runs the world right now.
I'm fine with that.
I hate it.
Anyways, we're gonna draft the worst things.
Ooh.
I'm gonna let you take that topic in your brain where you want. I have a head start, obviously. I'm gonna try and use as few from that video as I possibly can, though I really feel a couple of them. I will let you have the first pick.
Cold.
Like being cold?
Being cold in cold weather. Anything north of probably Missouri. The worst.
Hard time disagreeing with you there.
And I
Being
would
cold
have to say
sucks.
some direction of east too. Like, cause like Northern California is not bad. So there's some divider in there and like the longitude as well. But north of Missouri in latitude, fuck that. I hate being cold. That's the worst. That's why I don't ever want to go home.
Yeah.
For the record.
Makes sense. All right, 101 is off the board. My 102, being sick. I have an obvious one. And you and I
that's a good
both
one.
agree that it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
We'll reverse after the third round, so you get to go again.
I'm gonna go vomiting, but if you want to call that part of being sick, I can come up with a different one because I'm with you, but I'm thinking more of like drank too much puking and
Yeah.
not like I'm like ill.
I don't know. Sometimes you got to boot and rally.
That's my problem. That's why I hate it so much is because I can't do that. I physically cannot. If I throw up, I am so far down for the count.
I think for me, though, it's because I used to just throw up from drinking, like literally drinking too much, like too much volume. It wasn't like I got super drunk and I would throw up. I would like play drinking games with Dane, finish 3 beers in 20 minutes after I've already drank 4, and my stomach is just like, hey, we don't have room for anything. But
Yeah. I usually just like burp a shitload. I don't like actually puke though if I do that. But if I puke, I'm donezo. And it's also because it's always accompanied with like the spins for me if it's drinking related.
Yeah.
And it's
It's hard for me to get the spins. I rarely do.
not that
I
hard
rarely
for me.
get to that point. Okay, I'll give you that though.
Okay.
It's a solid 102 or 201. 202 for me. This one is stolen from the video.
Okay.
Wet. I'm just gonna change it to wet clothing. They said wet socks, but
Yeah.
any part of your clothing gets wet, and you
Okay.
can't change it immediately. So like
Yeah.
you go to the store and it starts downpouring. You have to walk through the store with the soaking wet shirt on. That's the worst. Like that sucks. If you're for us, whenever we do dishes, like our shirts always get wet because of how our sink is set up. So like we get like these weird wet lines on our shirt, and then it's like, do we want to waste
it
getting
doesn't
a new
matter
shirt?
what sink that I'm washing dishes at. I don't care if it's the perfect setup for not getting your shirt wet.
You still
My
do
shirt's
it?
fucking wet.
Okay, I'm just happy we're not alone on that one.
Yeah. Every time. I can't hand wash dishes without getting soaked.
That one.
It was way worse at like my mom's house growing up, though. I will say, like,
Yeah.
there is probably some degree of separation between like what setup you have, but
Yeah. I want a new sink. Anyways, that's my 2 off the board.
yeah, that's a good one. Wet clothing does suck. Shitty drivers is the next on my list, and
Yeah,
I'm just gonna keep
that's-
that in there because it does make me so mad. And like to give you an instantaneous example from today, I just had a fucking irritating day at work. Right, I'm on the phone with Carly, venting out about how annoying my day was at work, and I get to a 4-way stop. Okay, and at a 4-way stop, as most people know, you alternate traffic, right? So at this particular 4-way stop, usually there's only people coming from 2 directions. So guy in front of me goes, and it's this guy's turn, right? And they look at me and go,
Oh, don't fucking wave me on if it's not my turn.
I was like,
That pisses
what the
me off.
fuck are you
so
doing?
much.
Go!
Yeah.
You
No.
were there before me. It's your right of way.
Yes.
You're not being courteous. There's people behind you. Like, you are fucking my day up by trying to be nice, and I hate that.
Uncle Kyle
I do
says,
have a dishwasher.
I also have a dishwasher, but you can't put nonstick pans in a dishwasher.
You sure can.
You shouldn't. It's not great for Teflon pans. You can't put cast iron in a dishwasher.
That you cannot do.
And
That's
I
true.
mostly use cast iron to cook at this point in my life. There's a lot of things you can't put in. My knives are too nice. They get rusty if I put them in there. There's a lot of things I can't put in a dishwasher. Carly says children behaving
I knew
badly.
that would be her
Yeah,
one.
that was
Yeah.
gonna easily.
I don't know if that's on my list. It is an irritation to me, but I don't experience. I'm not around kids enough that it really drives me that crazy. But when I am and they're behaving poorly, it is so
Yeah,
fucking annoying.
it's the worst.
I was a shithead kid too, so I have some
Same.
degree of understanding, I guess. But
All right, 302 for me. My 3rd round pick. Bugs, any kind.
ooh, that's a
Fuck 'em.
good one. That
Fuck
could be
'em.
the 101 for me on some days.
It almost was.
Mosquitoes
sick.
specifically, but yeah,
Anything that flies. If it crawls, I can deal with it.
scorpions,
I can deal with scorpions. I don't have to.
cockroaches.
I've never seen a cockroach in real life in my house.
That is
Or
true
in
for
anybody-
me too. When
in
I was in the
anybody's
Midwest,
house.
I never saw them, and then I started going to southern states, and they're fucking everywhere.
Yeah, I've never like. And
That's not
I've
true.
never.
I did see them in Iowa. That's,
The only time I've seen them,
First time I
really,
saw 'em.
the only time I've seen them in my life is, we like had them as part of our science class for some reason,
Yeah.
and so they brought us cockroaches, but that's really all it. And then since I get the 4th pick,
Yep, go ahead.
when technology doesn't work,
That is a good one too.
Yeah.
And it's the thing that I hate the most about it, right? Is like I recognize usually in the moment how irrational my thoughts are.
yep,
Like I can think of an example. I was in college still. Carly and I were like probably we might have been dating for a little bit. I could have been my senior year. I can't remember, but I was in college. I had to get a paper printed, right? Mm-hmm. My printer doesn't work. So I call my grandma and I was like, hey, grandma, can I come over, use your printer? I'm just going to print something really quick. It's a paper I have to turn for college. She's like, yeah, sure, no problem. I drove all the way to my grandma's house, which when I say all the way, it's not that far. It's like 10, 15 minutes from my house,
Right.
right? So I drive over there and her printer doesn't work for it. For some reason, it's not working. And I was like, at that point, I was like, what the fuck? And I'm getting like actually angry sitting at my grandma's house. Like, what the fuck? I've tried 2 printers now. This is fucking bullshit. Like, I'm getting mad. And so then I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do, right? And I end up like having to go over to my fucking aunt's house. And by the time I get there, like my blood was fucking boiling because
Right.
it's the simplest task of printing something. And if you think about it, like, it's just the stupidest fucking thing to be mad about.
yeah,
Like, I could have like just calmed the fuck down and figured it out. But, like, the campus at the time was closed, so I couldn't do it there. Like, it was getting frustrating for me. But it's like same thing with like Carly saying like 5G not working. If you think back, like if I think back to my middle school days or earlier, None of these things were problems for me.
Oh, 100%.
None of them. Like I didn't have a single piece of technology that I was dependent on prior to prior to high school.
Yeah, pretty much same.
I didn't have internet in my house until I think 8th or ninth grade. And so like none of that bothered me.
Yeah.
Even if you had like shitty reception on the TV, right? And you had the fucking rabbit ears that you're trying to wiggle around, that didn't drive me crazy, I don't think.
I think I think part of the reason, and I don't want to go too deep on this, but I think part of the reason is because we've always been told that this stuff is supposed to make our life easier. And then when it makes our life harder, it's like, well,
we've just gotten too used to it, right? Like I'm blanking on the terminology right now. Like instant gratification generation or whatever, instant satisfaction, whatever it is. Like you're so used to things being there at the, right now that when they're not, it becomes super inconvenient for you. I think on that day that I was with Carly trying to print that paper too, I was like, this is the most inconvenient thing that's ever happened in my life. And she's like, really? It is? It's the most inconvenient thing? And I was like, God damn it, you're right.
She's like, damn, you have a very convenient life.
Yeah. All right.
What's your fifth pick?
This one's tough because nothing's like popping off for me immediately. And I wrote something down that's like really dumb and I don't want to go with it.
Might have to. Run out of time here.
But I am running out of time. So I'm going to go with it. Black licorice.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
When you brought that's actually the first thing that popped in my head when you said the topic. I was like, what's the worst? And I was like, black licorice immediately.
Yeah.
So
No,
I'll
that's the worst.
stick with that. It's fine. Black licorice sucks. It's so fucking gross.
My number 5 is when something is on your food that you specifically asked not to be there.
Ooh, that's a good one because it's going to tie to what I was just going to expand on. Because I think this might be in black licorice. Fennel seed is the most fucking disgusting shit ever.
Oh, I don't mind fennel.
Like, I think, do they make black licorice with fennel?
I have no
That
idea.
might be why I hate it so much.
I know black licorice is in,
Might
or
not be
fennel
fennel.
is in Italian sausage, and I like it there.
It is, and I hate it there. There is some herb that they use for black licorice. I know. It might not be fennel, though. I could be wrong.
It is not
Anyway,
fennel.
what is it? Does it say?
Licorice plant Glycyrrhiza glabra.
There is an herb that tastes like black. It doesn't matter. Anyway, what was yours? Sorry, I just blanked out because I interrupted you.
Food, when you specifically
yeah.
ask for something
Okay.
not to be on your food, like we got Chick-fil-A on the drive back because it was like the only thing that we were passing. Carly, I could do ASMR on this setup, and I might, just for the meme. Might do an ASMR drinking episode. But we got Chick-fil-A, and I took one bite of my sandwich, and I was like, there's fucking pickles on this sandwich. It ruined the whole
Anise
thing for me.
is the
Anise. Anise.
Is it pronounced anise? I
I
think
don't
I've always said anise.
I think I've always said anise, but I think that's also like a painkiller from the 1970s.
And then you say anus just to be funny.
Anus. Hate is
Anyway.
anus.
Anise
But
is
yeah,
the
like I
spice.
took one bite of my food and I could taste the pickle and it ruined, like, I can't get past that. Like there's some flavors I can get past, but there's some flavors I just cannot get past. Pickles are one I can't get past.
Love
Mustard
pickles.
I can't get past. Anything vinegary,
mustard.
really, I can't get past it.
There is a side note in here, by the way. Then it says fennel also tastes a lot like black licorice. So I wasn't completely out to lunch.
Not totally off base there.
But yes,
I don't mind fennel though.
That's it. Those
That
are the
is
worst
it.
things in the world.
We're gonna post that on Twitter as a poll. Let you guys decide which of us has a better taste in what sucks.
Yours was good. You'll probably win that one. That was a really good one.
I had the
Bugs
distinct
is
advantage
an
of
easy
it being
killer, yeah.
a head start.
That's okay.
But yeah, Bugs
is
was
a good one.
Bugs should have been my 101. They
killer.
pissed me off so fucking much.
Yeah, bugs suck. I bitch
All
about
right, Kyle.
The second the sun goes down, mosquitoes come out. I'm bitching.
Yeah, same. I hate being outside.
What would you
Because of
rate
that.
the rest of your tea? I drank water. 10 out of 10.
Now it's getting down to I didn't stir the honey enough, so now I'm just drinking like raspberry honey, and that's
That's
kind of
all right.
tough.
That's not
So
bad.
let's still like an 8. It's good honey. Anything's better than fucking clove honey.
All right. That was another episode of Two Advertisements. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. As always, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at @2AVGHusbands. It's scrolling across if you're watching us on YouTube. You can also find Jake at Perry_FF on his personal Twitter and mine at Kyle and Herson if you'd like to follow us there. Probably use the personals more than the actual account now. I don't know.
We'll get
try
better.
to-
We'll get better at
We
it.
always say that. We need to,
We're gonna do
if we
it.
were big enough, we'd have a social media person for this because neither of us are that good at it. But
I'm good at it on my account.
yeah, that's different. Anyway, we're also live now. In addition to YouTube, we're also on Twitch and on Twitter, so you can find us there. And then you can chat with us in the Discord chat if you don't like any of those options while we are live. If you are not wanting to watch us live, you can watch this on pretty much every podcast streaming platform that exists now. And if it's not available on one of the ones that you guys have or want to listen to it, let us know and we'll try to figure it out. That's pretty much all I got. Thanks for joining us. Jake. Close this out.
Yeah, I've been sick since I got home. We've covered that enough times in this episode, but
Sure.
that means the last couple episodes are still not updated on iTunes, Spotify, anything like that. I
Yep.
promise you I will get to that tomorrow. They will be uploaded Thursday, October 13th. They will be uploaded on the streaming
Hold them
platforms,
to it.
assuming that our RSS service does not mess up. But thank you, like
Somebody
Kyle
hop on
said,
Twitter and call Jake out if it's not up.
please do, because if I forget, I'm gonna laugh at myself. Thank you guys for tuning in, even in an atypical episode where we are just enjoying ourselves. We should do one of these every once in a while because it's good to make sure you're not forming any habits with alcohol. Make sure you drink responsibly, all that fun stuff. Thank you guys for tuning in. We love the support. We love all the people who came out to hang out. Saw some new faces here, not new to us, but new to the chat. Thank you guys all for tuning in today. We really appreciate it. If you have topics that you want to hear us talk about, let us know. If you have things you want to see us drink, let us know. If you have topics you want us to talk about, let us know.
You said
We
that
will
twice.
I don't care. That's an important one. If you want to hear us talk about something, we'll do it a whole theme. If you guys want to hear whole themed episodes, we will do that. Just tell us
do
what
that.
you want to hear.
Yeah,
we will do it. We are flexible. We're just two wild and crazy guys. Anyways,
Something like that.
thank you for tuning in. We will see you in next week's episode. And as always, make sure to tell somebody that you love them.
Peace.